I'm going to squeeze. All I want to be able to do is just squeeze with my legs. I don't want to kick him. None of that stuff. He feels my leg. Oh, this will be interesting. Look at all this, guys. Just shot right through it. Nice job, buddy. Good. Do you see how he's nice and rhythmic with his jogging? This is pretty tough terrain, and he's comfortable, is what that means. Who doesn't want to ride a nice jog trot? Everyone wants to bounce, bounce, bounce. And when that horse is being erratic and isn't comfortable, that's where that comes from. So, at the same time, and now I'm going to put my right leg on him. There we go. And we pushed him sideways. Now I'm going to put my left leg on him. And this is the way he'll try to drag a shoulder, or lead with a shoulder. Good. Nice. Good. I don't know if you can tell. Maybe I'll do it here. Maybe I should just do the camera where you can tell that we're actually going sideways. All right. So see how we're kind of coming off that trail? There we go. Nice job, buddy. Now I'm going to push my left leg. Good. And that's all one-handed, so that's pretty nice. I could do a little straighter job two-handed, but we got to graduate someday, right? Very nice, buddy. Very nice. All right, let's pick up a lope. Good. All right. And it's interesting because the sun is very dappled right now. So I've had some horses that would spook a little bit from all these little spots on the ground. And he's not really a spooky horse, but he is still a horse, right? All right, let's try that. Whoa. Oh. Nice job. And so I stopped with my seat. The reins might have tightened slightly, but I try not to use the reins unless I have to. They're my backup. And he went, whew. All right, let's try neck rein around. And let's lope again. Good. So I should go right into it. Knowing that fast trot stuff. Woo, we hit a hole there. Let's see where we're going. The water pretty. And I'm rating him just slightly. He's a little bit downhill. Probably me being a little tenser because I'm holding the dang camera. But I don't want to just pull on him. But I might give him... Oh, you're right, I'm going up trail. Sometimes your rider has to pay attention, I know. Left lead canter. Or, sorry, right lead. Okay, so now we're going to collect him up even more. Just get that little bitty nice canter going. Oh, nice. Good boy. Very nice. Just so you can tell how slow we're going. You can tell that I moved the camera like right there. That was pretty cool. He thought I wanted to turn, didn't he? Good boy. Back him up a little bit. Nice job. The only thing I'd pick on there is when I loosened the reins, he walked on forward. But we're kind of... Tail's very much one of those, if you ask for him a couple times, he'll try to do it again next time. And so recognizing that in him, when he walked forward, I'm going to stop him until he sighed like he did. And I'm going to say, well, let's just rest. I don't want him too sharp and on the money. I mean, I like that he's moving when I ask him to go. But with Patty, she's still learning some of this stuff. She doesn't need a horse that just, she thinks it and this horse just takes off. So you got to be careful what you practice with him. And I backed up, but then I want the reins to be loose like they are so he can play with them, and him to stand still, because really a lot of us are going to stand still and talk and whatever, and nothing worse than a horse on the trail that's fidgeting and moving and stuff, because what do we see? Oh, must be a deer or something. It would probably scare them all up with all this leaf, but anyway, so now my test is going to be, I'm going to walk back towards the barn, and I just cantered him some, right? So will this horse be anxious and want to canter again because he's that type that assumes that he knows the answer? Or is he going to walk? If he made a mistake, it's quite understandable. Quite. But I don't want to ride a horse like that. Nobody really does. So I have two options. I can pull back on two reins and stop and back them up. And that works for a pretty lazy type horse. But if you get an anxious horse, I have seen them start rearing up and fighting you worse. So I want to I've got these reins just as loose. I can't hardly see them because of my shadow in here. But I want these reins flopping in the wind, just loose as I can get them. I'm not going to babysit him. I'm going to give him the option of trying to go fast, right? If I hold the reins a little bit snug, I'm kind of babysitting him, and we really want him to make mistakes. So there we go. I had to steer because I was looking at the wrong place again. No one's ever going to be with me on a trail ride again because they see how lost I get so easily. So my option would be, I'd actually see how we got these trees like this. That's funny. I looked at it, he thought I was going to go. We'll actually trot circles around him, and we'll trot, say, 6 circles till he's got a nice frame. And then we'll go to the next tree and trot circles. And so every time he wants to pick up a trot, we'll actually kind of give him a job. And that keeps him under control better, and it moves his feet so you're not stopping him all the time and kind of creating that anxiety that you'll get when you're pulling on the reins all the time. And you get to train at the same time. So Davey's in the process of cutting a few more of these. But let me tell you how bad, you want to see how good your circle is or how bad your circle is, start going around trees at a trot and eventually at a canter. Oh my gosh, yes, they will be horrible at first, but it kind of gives you an idea. Oh yeah, my horse is dropping his shoulder here and he's fading out here, and you start understanding what your horse is doing. So this is it's kind of cool. You can do that, and you get to school them without just running them to death. I mean, anybody can run a horse to death, right? We're actually going to school them. You want to trot? That's great. Let's go 6 times around this tree. Now let's go 6 times around this tree. And that will take a little air out of them, and it kind of gives them a job, kind of like you're picking on them again, and they get over it. Most people, and it's a hard thing not to do, right? But they'll end up, the horse kind of wants to go. So let's pretend that tail would want to go. And I'm going to snug up on my reins a lot here. And what they'll do is they'll just start holding them. And so as soon as I start holding them, you probably don't even realize you're doing it, but my lower legs enclosed on him. So what did I do? You can't see him, I know. I wish I had Davey here. But I've got his nose halfway to his chest, and now he's going a little crooked and everything else. Why? Because it's like a cue. I'm saying get ready for something. He's looking to push my leg up. If he has anxiety and he's wanting to go fast, he can go and he can prance. Everybody loves, the horse is sitting there doing a pee off in place, right? Well, if you don't pull on them, they can't do that. So 2 reins are always going to get more anxiety to that horse. I mean, look, see, I'm kind of purposely simulating it, right? But so this is what you'll get. Oh, I want to go. Oh, I want to go. And either they blow up or they keep doing this because you keep pulling more. But very rarely does a horse just get over going fast because you're pulling on the reins, because as they get anxious, you'll get more anxious, and pretty soon, I gotta make them do this, something bad happens. The more coiled up he is, it's like you're getting ready to have a Lipizzan or jumping up in the air. So hard to do, right? Just let the reins looser. Right? This horse is trying to run off with me. I'm telling you, go to 1 rein, trot some circles, something like that. Walk some circles if you have to. Do the 1 rein stop and yield his hindquarters if you have to. But even in a small area, you can do those 2 things. But this holding both reins isn't going to work. Now, I'll do it. Like even now, if you kind of, let me put my hand where you can see it. We're going to turn here, buddy. I'll do it. Okay, so there I got it. But I'll still, this is impossible for you guys to see, I'm sorry. I'll kind of bump and release, bump and release, bump and release. I'm not just holding him as tight as I can, because there, see how I threw his head when I just held him, and then he stopped and he lost forward motion. So really putting him in the bridle means you push him to it, but you're kind of giving and taking. And as the beginners or the people who've had a bad experience get scared, they're going to clutch. They're going to just stop, don't do that. And see, immediately, look where he did. He went sideways. He tossed his head because I grabbed on him, and I was anxious about it. So we've got to take a little bit of this ownership ourselves to say, just relax for a second. All right, make my reins looser. Because you can always turn him in a circle if he tries to trot. Once you know you can turn your horse, you'll feel better about it.